We've got Mango. What's up, bro? How you doing, bud? Good to see you.
Long time no see.
What's up, James?
Pat, James. Wow.
Everybody's here. Look at you guys.
Good showing.
Not skipping the warm-ups today, I see. And thanks to a couple new followers. Swar Blue. Mr.
Oh,
What? I don't know what he's talking about.
the badge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tickle My Jack and the Godslayer 21. Thanks for the follows.
Thank you.
Boys are here helping Kale and Eric get ready. All right. Good. That's awesome. I really appreciate you guys stepping up to help them out. I know they've been getting a lot out of their recent roles with you guys, so that's really great. We're definitely wishing the boys good luck this weekend for their big super fights. None of us have ever competed in a cage, I don't think, or an octagon or whatever. So
Not me.
they're leave it to them to be the pioneers for that for our school. Good. Just busy at a new job, moved here with a 2-month wipeout. Those are some of the
Those
most
are
fun
normally the
goals.
best. Yeah.
Let's see. Before we get started, we have moved on from half guard to side control. So, all right, let's get into it.
So Mango, I don't know that you've seen the new
yeah.
footage, like the new angle, but we got a 180-degree camera, or actually 359-degree camera, according to Cole
And Josh.
and Josh.
Tap him left and right with long bars and applies. Oh.
Yeah.
You found yourself a 2-month wipeout, coach. Hell yeah. It's when you gotta stop him and say, no. Let me show you something. Let's see. I think Brandon had a good takedown on me here. We're off on the side. I go for my trip. He goes in. He can just reach a double on me so easily and just put me right down. So
He's really going for the angle. Okay, and you turn him over with the Sumigeshi from that front headlock.
Yeah. Nice, Cole. Let me show you what back control looks like. But let me get my hooks in. Yeah. I don't know. I guess just because I don't really train anywhere outside of our school. I haven't had to deal with anything like that in a while. It'd be fun to show up in like an unranked rash guard and have a white belt. Be like, can I show you something? Like, sure, bud. I'm so glad that Josh and Caleb are getting the first round together.
Yeah. Wear each other out.
And then, oh, cool. So I saw Nora standing on the side. She's one of our newer students, but it looks like she's getting a little first open mat lesson with Brooke. So that's awesome. All right, how did...
Danny's going in that Katagatame. He's trying to get the back of Chris, but Chris is very reluctant to give it up.
Chris
does a really good job.
He just hides his back very well and maneuvers his body very well.
And his you know, like we talk about the knee elbow connection being vital for guard retention, but it's also vital for back retention too, like, you know, not allowing the guard path or not allowing the back take. He does such a good job keeping that knee elbow connection that you can't ever get a hook in order to secure the back.
Yeah. Danny with his first signature submission. He has since moved on, I think, to Darce's, but Katagatame was always his bread and butter. It's those skinny, non-muscular arms. It just finds the perfect spot, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see Caleb and Josh. I just missed how they got to the ground here. May have just been some sloppy. Let's see, Josh pushing him into the... Oh, okay. A little bit of an... Yeah, a little outside trip there. Nice. And then Caleb's got to sit through on that to prevent Josh from getting his legs back in. Yeah, that was probably pretty uncomfortable.
Looks that way, yeah. Let's see if he rocks back. Yep.
So I think, let's see. I think Nora may be trying to work a couple of the takedowns that she learned in class so far. So that day we did some over under position. What was the move we did? Oh, it was like a body fold from over under. I'm trying to take advantage of that.
What's up,
they were
Caleb?
pummeling to that earlier on. What was that? What's up, Caleb? How you doing, bud?
Yep. Just acknowledging Caleb. That's all.
Well, that's your first mistake. What's up, Cole? Let's see, who are you rolling with? Oh, yeah, I think you're with Braden.
Was I? Oh yeah, I did train that night. That's right. Yep. I didn't train for very long. I think I only had a few rounds.
Yeah. Then we got James and Ryan as well. That's a good snap from Josh to go behind, but Caleb's playing a pretty tight turtle position. So there we go. That's what I want to see. Driving the knee in first. All right, Caleb rolls to safety to prevent the back take, but in doing so gives up passing points. How did James get on top here? Looking here. He's gathering the legs. Trying to work his way around outside the knee. Blading his body in to beat the knee. Ryan's doing a good job keeping his guard, but James advances to top half. And then now it looks like, so he doesn't have the underhook, but he's got that arm pretty well pinned. I want to see him slip that inside knee. There it is. And then straight into mount.
I just noticed you don't have the knee brace on, James. Is the knee? I'm assuming it's feeling a lot better. Good enough to go to stand and everything yet, or not so much?
Cole, you can't be out of view with a 359-degree camera.
Yeah, you have like 1 degree.
Yeah, dude. Good luck finding that.
Good luck. Yeah, it's like that seam right in the middle there.
Yeah, bro. You're too fat to hide in that seam.
Might actually be 361 degrees because it's got that 1 degree overlap.
Yeah. Checks out. Whatever, dude.
Not good to stand. All right. In time. Chris is on. Oh, nice. Hit the Ashigurami sweep.
Okay, let's see. Let's back it up a little bit. Oh, damn. So he was dealing with a Darce from Danny through all this. So
It's
we're looking
very
here.
difficult for me to Darce, to finish the Darce on Chris lately. It was something that I was able to get, but he has figured out like a little pocket or something. I don't know.
Danny is in a very, very tight finishing position too. Like this is where I like to finish a Darce. Going up into mount, I think because Chris was able to get his knee in, he's relieving a little bit of that chin to the chest pressure that Danny could put on from here. But still, like, I mean, it looks like Danny was forced for one reason or another to give up on that. But yeah, good counter. Little ankle pick, Ashi kind of situation.
Yep.
And it looks like Nora got a lesson in why you don't let Brooke get on mount. Because once she's there, she's probably not coming off of it. So she moves up to a mounted triangle and goes for the roll to get the angle on the finish. That's not a fun spot to be.
No.
Chris front and center. I think Andrew and Brandon may have had a good roll. I only caught a few seconds of it as I was working with Braden. Ooh, how did Chris get behind here? So Chris cuts his angle, but Josh has a very, very powerful position here with this overhook, and his body like bladed against Chris right now. This is, you know, Uchimata Hargoshi territory, which it looks like Josh. I thought he was gonna go for it. Okay, so
yeah, grabbing the far shoulder.
Yeah, Josh, I would try, like, while you have that whizzer. That whizzer's the only thing that's keeping Chris from taking your back. Notice as soon as you take that hand out, Chris can move further to your back now. Like, that's the block that you have. And it's also a really, really powerful grip for throwing, right? If you just want to hit an Uchimata, that's a great spot to hit it from. I'm not going to say that you can't hit the same moves with this over the back grip that you take. It's totally possible. I don't know. I
feel like it's riskier. And especially as you get sweatier. Like, I know this is only the second round, so probably not a significant amount of sweat here. But as you get sweatier, I think the over the shoulder / armpit grip is more difficult. Does he have both of his hands locked here?
I don't know.
I think he does.
Yeah, so
I think he may have an underhook on that side, and then in which case that could be a pretty strong grip.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Either way, he doesn't do anything with it. And Chris slips out the back, right? So that's the inherent danger of that move. Try to hit that with the whizzer. See how you work with that whizzer before you let that go.
It acts as a natural wedge, or like a natural wedge, and kind of like a bump stop, you know, to where you can bump your partner forward and get their weight ahead, so that you can hit the Haragoshi or the Uchi a little easier.
Yeah, I think with the over the back grip, I like the Haragoshi a little better.
Yeah,
but that might just be personal preference.
Here, yeah. So now Chris has switched it up, and he's now got a little bit of whizzer.
They got a good little mutual position. This is similar. So Josh looks like he's looking for the body fold. Yep, that's
nice.
That was really
beautiful execution. Yeah.
So that was the exact takedown we did to start the class. So off of Josh hits it off of the double under. We did it off the over under. So if Josh were to pull the elbow back to Chris's wrist, like pull his own elbow back to Chris's wrist, and then recapture the arm that way, he may need to be on a little bit more of an angle, but that could be difficult. Instead, he opts for, I think, a more traditional way of doing it, which is off of the double underhook. Gets great head position, really strong stance, and right here you see he gets Chris's head back behind his feet, and that's all she wrote. That's what you need for a proper body fold. Proud of you, Josh. And what about Brandon and Andrew here? Looking here.
Into the double.
Good counter off of a little bit of a kind of a small snap. Andrew didn't really send that one down, but Brandon was ready for it. That's, you know, a bit of the that's one of the risks with you know, setting up collar ties and working snap downs is your hands are up high, so getting to a down block quickly to defend a double leg is a little bit more difficult. So great level change, driving through, really powering through off his knees, and getting right to side control.
Yeah, and Andrew, like you might recall or might not, but I did the same thing to Joe, training with Joe about a month or month and a half ago, whereas I was going to snap him down and I snapped him straight into my legs. So it's definitely something that happens. It takes practice, and even on my part, right, to not let that happen. You've got single and double legs that are for the taking if you don't back away quick enough on the snaps.
Chris doing a good job maintaining his guard with just a singular knee, entering back in. It's probably one of the things he does best is guard retention.
Yeah, that was an interesting hop, how Josh goes straight into half guard here. So he opts. He's like, I can't get through the knee, but I can get over the knee if I step into half guard. Right?
That is
I
really
think he was
interesting.
Yeah, so I think he may have been thinking that he could use a knee staple with his right knee, you know, and kind of get around the guard to the right. But instead he opts to just secure the right knee and get into that half guard position for a better passing attempt.
Yeah, I mean, if Chris is making it difficult to get to knee on belly, which I imagine he is, he probably has a good knee elbow connection right now. Yeah, I mean, something similar. He's got his hand on his knee, but he's blocking the path of Josh's right knee, stepping over and opting to work from half guard. As long as he can beat that knee, if Chris maintains that knee inside, like he hasn't really made any forward progress, but that's an interesting approach.
It is an interesting approach, yeah. But now he's got a back take threat if he can get his left knee up high.
Sure.
Or he can go in for this Darce.
Yeah.
See if he can get the Darce.
I'd like to see him turn him from here. Put him.
Yeah, he needs to crack him back down.
Yeah.
He's trying to do it. Okay.
Yeah, the weakest position of a Darce is when your opponent's chest, so Chris's chest in this case, is facing the same direction as yours. I'm not going to say that you can't tap somebody out from there. You could probably put on a pretty effective strangle, but that's where it's going to be the least mechanically strong. That's why we'll send him to his side, right? If you were to crack Chris down to his right hip, or do what Danny did and even run up to take mount, then his chest is pointing towards your chest, and that's going to be a much more mechanically strong position. So Chris working from here, you know, his best bet is to either wait for the transition to get safe, or try to fight the elbow position, the hand grip, to disrupt the Darce. But I think we all know by now how difficult that can be. Josh makes it.
Brandon and Andrew are having a war over there.
Yeah, what happened?
They're going back and forth.
So yeah, Brandon gets a sweep here. Oh, it's like Andrew was just a little too upright, a little too stiff, and Brandon took advantage.
Yeah, Andrew was attacking the left arm of Brandon into like a straight Utagatame, and then Brandon just kind of hip bumped him and took him over.
Gaptoski, of course I don't mind if you watch. I wonder if that's who I think it is.
What's up?
Is that OG Gavin? My little buddy? Or just a total stranger?
He's not new
who's
to
like
the chat.
Creeped out about what I'm saying. So Jason, let's see. Jason is going with Cody. Oh yeah. So yeah, these two guys up here. So Jason gets a nice Tomonagi here. So Cody, you can see just how much Cody is pushing forward. Oh, okay. I thought you were one of our former students. But no, thank you for hanging out, man.
Yeah, thanks.
So Cody here is really leaning forward. Now, of course, the little fish-eyeing on the lens is probably exaggerating this a bit, but what's definitely true is that his head is far out in front of his feet. So that means all of his force is loaded up on Jason. His feet are square. He's a little vulnerable here, and Jason senses it and takes full advantage. So you could see Jason's kind of setting up, Just pushing into him a bit, pushing into him, and then immediately lowers his level. Gets the, I guess in this case, butterfly hooks in.
Yeah. Sends him.
Sends him. Let's see it
Yeah.
again. Nice. And then
Boom.
comes up past the guard, right into side control.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
quite
nice
a Sumigashi. I mean, maybe you could call it that with maybe with the hooks in. I guess you could call it a Sumigashi.
That's what I would call it. Yeah.
When I saw it first, I was thinking more Tomonagi, but he doesn't get the feet on the hips. So yeah, Sumigashi works.
Tomonagi's hard to pull off in no-gi anyway.
Yeah, right.
You'd have to like have a really good hand connection, like wrist connection.
Gavtoski, how long have you been training?
Yeah. Tomonagi's slippery in no-gi for sure.
Ooh, Josh on a knee bar.
Oof.
What happened there?
It didn't look comfy at all.
4.5 years still suck. Same, dog.
Same.
8 years still suck.
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at this. Because Chris may think he's safe here. He doesn't look like he's moving with much urgency, but he is kind of locked in at this position. So, actually, let's go back a little bit more. How does Josh get here? So Josh working from an Arimi Ashi. Gets the off balance and turns the corner into like a top Ushiro or a reverse Ashi position, depending on what you want to call it, what instructional you most recently watched. And, so Chris does seemingly the right thing. He crosses his legs up into a figure four. The problem with this is it kind of locks you in place and it makes your legs pretty easy to target. Peters, you showed him this. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now something else for us to worry about. So Josh goes into undo the lock. A good thing I like to do here, Josh, before I undo the feet, is I'll pull the shin that crosses over. So in this case, Chris's right shin. I'll pull it right up into my lap, like a lap bar on a roller coaster. Just pull it up as high as you can, and that will prevent a quick, easy back take. If he opens his legs and pops his hips out and tries to take your back, that'll shut that down, or at least give you time to react. But it also, as I just kind of have alluded to, locks him in place to where he can't maneuver enough to get you off balance either. So then from there, that's where I'll start to go in, unlock the legs, and you just kind of just take that thing. There you go. Good. And then if you want to play around with this, and I don't know how much of this you guys went over, but for anybody unfamiliar with this like reverse Ashi position, once I break the legs open, I like to fall to the side of the free leg with the intention of pinning it with my body. I've got my two legs wrapped around the primary leg here, Chris's right leg in this case. So I use my body weight to pin the free leg. We all know that the free leg is an important part of escapes for leg attacks. So if I can limit its movement as much as possible, then I can, take as much time as I need to get this submission. Then once you have that leg pinned, you get to fight two different things at once. You can toe hold the secondary leg, or you can knee bar the primary leg. This is where you just didn't tap in the last 30 seconds. Let's see.
Hop under the lion. Definitely a lot of hand fighting going on.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks like he's starting to get his hips. All right, now he's squared back up.
Another double leg by Brandon. Wow.
Dude, arm drags and double legs, man. That's his game.
Again, off the snap.
And you know what? He's an exception to the rule where You know, I tell you guys that you get snapped down and you shoot these like weak ass shots as, you know, to kind of like save yourself, but you really just end up being in turtle position, getting sprawled on. Brandon seems to be the exception to that, because Andrew snaps him down here, and like anybody who's rolled with Andrew recently fully knows how much force he can throw into your neck, into your head to get you off balance, and how much he can hang his weight, you know, how easily and proficient he is at hanging his weight on you. So Brandon just kind of goes with it, but I think what he does differently from a lot of us is he really, really commits to the double. Every single one we've seen so far, he's walking forward with his knees as soon as he gets his hands on the legs. Like, he knows the move isn't over until you're on the mat. Yeah, he just drives through really well on those. Jason with another good takedown too. Cody loading up. Looks like Jason just gets the one arm under control. It's a nice little roll. Yeah, Caleb. You suck, man. So Ryan and I are working, starting from side control, just putting him through some heavy pressure to work on his escapes and some of the stuff we went over in class. He was purple, but he was conscious, so
True.
Doesn't matter.
Now we got Josh and Andrew. Let's see color.
And then, so this is Ethan, one of our newer students, rolling with Danny. He is a football player, and he feels like it. Very athletic, very strong.
Just red.
Just red.
Damn right.
And then Judah and James. Judah, another recent student. James on the arm drag, getting both arms to the same side of his body, and we should all know by now, unless we're brand new, that leads to back exposure. So right here, Judah's back is exposed, and James takes full advantage.
Very nice. I like the little hand assist to get your hips around. Kept your chest behind the shoulder. Really nice.
A little bit right over the chin, I want to say. Yeah, a little bit of a mandible strangle. Doesn't matter. Looks like he's tapping.
He was
early.
smiling.
Yeah.
All good.
Showing Ryan the utility of the armpit push. When someone is over your hip line as opposed to your shoulders, they are very, very vulnerable to hopefully what he's about to show you. It's one of my favorite ways to get out of side control, because I feel like it just makes you look stupid when you hit it. I guess I just continue talking.
Josh and Andrew are trying to get something started in the circle.
Yeah. Look at Danny and Ethan here.
Danny's trying to throw the legs by. Ethan is not having it.
No, and he almost gets a jump on him, but Danny.
Yeah, but he errors. So like anybody in the chat, we talk about the underhook, right? That's the error that happened. Ethan gave Danny the clear underhook here, so now Danny, all he needs to do is build up a little bit of hip height, and he's going to take Ethan over, which Ethan probably unknowingly gives him right here by sitting down to his hip. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that late in the game, I don't mind his instinct to try to sit back and like hide his back. It was
True.
like he was trying to get his legs in front of him, but he had already screwed up a long time ago by that point.
Yeah. Just to have a nimble back like that. You see that? His hips were facing down, his head was facing up. Like a cat.
Who, Ethan?
Yeah.
Here? Guess I missed it. Yeah, before this, when Danny was taking him over?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
No, there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts watching. Nice pass sequence versus
Against De La Riva. Where was that at? I missed it. We're having a lot more people stay after for training, because we put up some more mats. So we put up more wall mats on the right hand side of your screen, and then over here on the left hand side, right by where Brandon's sitting and where Joe is standing. And so like we're getting way more people staying after class to train. Just it seems like there's way more mat space, even though they're both right.
Oh, no, bottom right. You might be talking about me and Ryan here.
Oh, bottom right. Okay.
Just
yeah.
Misdirectional stepping. Primarily my approach here. So from De La Riva, I just try to control the legs. I'm not really too worried about being off balanced right now. He has my ankle, my right ankle, but he doesn't have my left ankle, and I'm keeping it far enough back to where he can't get an easy tripod sweep. So just pushing like the De La Riva leg down and disrupting his position until I can get to my knee and elbow connection on the inside, which, I mean, from the last 2 weeks of half guard, you guys should know by now that that's super important. This is where I love to pass from. And then there's a subtle move there, but I'm just pushing the knee through. You'll see with my left hand, push the knee through, big back step with my right leg. And then I'm trying to get my right leg to the hip, but Ryan blocks me, so I back step the other way. And to a little reverse knee on belly and settling in. So knee slide from head quarter. Thank you, man. Yeah, I don't work the knee slide too frequently because I don't easily get underhooks. Like, everybody stops me from getting underhooks. So if I'm very upright like that, that's where you'll see a lot of my footwork taking charge. Like in my passing, it's more of a loose outside style. Unless I can get to half guard, that's where I'll start to like change it up to, some of the more tighter passing approaches. Some of the more tight passing approaches. Yeah, this guy right here is the north-south guy. The arrow was pointed at you.
Yeah. I'm like
There's
Ryan?
nobody in that corner.
I didn't know he was passing north-south already. Damn, that's pretty advanced.
Yeah. I primarily use north-south. I think when, like, against guys like Chris, who we saw here in the headgear, guys who are super good at getting that knee back in. That's where I fought so hard to get around the legs that I don't want to let them sneak an easy knee in. So I'll switch up to north-south from there. But I think you probably use it you definitely use it much more offensively than I do.
Yeah, I enjoy like that. I feel like I can get a lot more going from the north-south position off of the pass, for sure.
So Gavin trying to heel hook Caleb. I wish he would. I didn't
Josh
get
in on an armbar.
Who is it? Oh, Josh.
Josh in on the armbar on Andrew, but Andrew is not having it right now.
We'll zoom in on this in a second. I can't tell if Josh was being nice about that. He heel hooks. I'm going to straight to a wrist lock. You would. Let's go back to this armbar. Let me see if I can zoom in. So we're way off to the side here. So Looking here.
It steps up.
Ooh, little
Like
spin
really
around.
nice.
Which I just poo-pooed on a lot yesterday, but mainly from side control, not from mount.
Yeah.
So now,
Hips are kind of low relative to the shoulder. So like I feel like that's a really big extension though. Like I don't know how he's not tapping.
yeah.
Can't see.
So Andrew's done a good job disrupting the cross-facing leg, which that's not gonna necessarily prevent the break from happening. Like if the elbow's in a good spot over the hip and the hand is oriented the right way, you should still be able to put on some nasty braking pressure here. I don't know, Josh, speak up if you were letting Andrew work out of this a little bit, or like what the case was here.
Yeah, did you feel good about it? And he was just like not tapping. Like what was
the other thing I'm seeing is a lot of space. I'm seeing some daylight here between your hips and his shoulder.
Yeah.
Is that what you mentioned?
That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, yeah. And
you said it better though. Yeah.
That comes from the heels not digging into the body and the head, right? I mean, at this point, you're not even over the head, but like, let's see if we can get to an earlier moment before he disrupts. So damn, I mean, yeah, you had a good chance here. So you're in a standard armbar. Andrew puts himself into a 3/4 armbar by slipping his hand out.
Yeah.
That little subtle movement. He takes his hand from here to down the body on the other side of the leg. This is where you want to dig your heels in, especially like just right into his neck. I would want to see, I'm going to be picky here, I'd want to see your right knee, or I'm sorry, your right heel into the neck first, your left leg crossing over that. Then pull your heels towards your butt. That'll give you a really, really good deep hip position on the shoulder. And then you can worry all about, like how you grip the hand. It looks like his thumb is pointing to the ceiling right now. Not optimal, not terrible. I would look to, this is his right arm, so I'm going to look to break it over my right hip. And that means I want his thumb pointing to this wall, right? Pointing towards the wall with the door. And then pulling his hand in the opposite direction of the where his thumb's pointing. In these traditional armbar positions, just remember, if you're breaking the right arm, break it over your right hip. If you're breaking the left arm, break it over your left hip. That's normally a good rule of thumb. That changes if you're doing like a triangle armbar, but you're not doing that, so we don't have to get into that. But yeah, I want to see just your leg position improve here, and your instincts on which way to break. But otherwise, it was a really, really great entrance.
I like the use there in your regard attempt into Ashi to put Andrew back down. And so like as soon as Andrew comes up, so go can you go back just briefly here?
Okay.
So he comes up, Andrew's coming in, he's doing a really good job of trying to stack. And Andrew, you're in triangle threat, right? So for me, I would want to see you throwing the legs by or stacking up and just getting the hell out, right? Like one or the other would be acceptable. But here, Josh slips the right leg in between, and so he has the beginnings of, well, it's not Ashi, but he's got a knee now in between, and he's able to capture the left leg with the right hand and just take him over.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tripod-ish type sweep.
All right, good round. We didn't even see, Pat was going there with Chris for a while. I don't know if they look a lot of pinning there by the end of it. Just bullying Gavin a little bit, throwing him into the big guy. Let's see. That's we got Brooke and Danny off to the side there,
Okay.
and Jason and Caleb. That should be a good match.
And Brandon and Pat. Chris and Ryan.
What was that? Looking at Caleb and Jason here. Did you just... Caleb, I feel like you just slipped here. It looks like you went to plant. Or maybe... I don't know what you did there. But it looks even dumber in slow motion. I don't know. Was that like an attempt on an outside, like a Kosoto or something, like an outside trip? Tried to fall to a hip and trip his leg, but I botched it. Got it. Good little footwork from Gavin there, just finding the inside leg position. Just a little side switch in, moving around. He gets me to split my legs and then takes the inside leg position. Just about gets me into a leg drag. Now coming around the side, trying to get around the back. Good bump to get his head out. Now I'm in some trouble. So this was actually really good, really effective for breaking down my turtle. He did this very well. So watch his left leg there finds my leg, and this is what he did so well. Like when we do this, a lot of times I think we let our opponent have like about a 90-degree bend in their leg, and Gavin took all of that away. He folded my foot all the way up, like he was fully engaged as he pulled that leg out, and really put a lot of torque on my hip to get me to turn over. And then as soon as he could, he oh no, I tried to roll through that, and he was like, nah, just take your back.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't go to a Katagatame, or maybe he's trying to set that up. He's very good at sinking in that arm triangle.
Yeah.
That's always there off of those the back take attempts. You know, they're always available.
Yeah, I think that's where Luke finds them most often. He loves to use the arm triangle as a plan B.
Pat working some really nice passing on Brandon. That was really good. So but he got on top somehow else. I think he was on bottom before, and then
Let's go back.
Yeah, so he's in half guard. Brandon's coming around.
I think Brandon tried to sit for a leg, maybe.
He did, yep. Pulls in, and then Pat uses the Arimiyashi, or the single leg X pass that we teach. Doesn't get it right away, but does a really good job of putting some pressure down on the hip and getting around the legs.
And I like how long he held on to Brandon's bottom leg here.
Yep, I do too.
He gets the grip on the knee and holds that until the position is established.
Yep.
Right? It's easy to fight that top leg, I think. A little easier than it is to fight the bottom leg. So with him, so with him focusing on the bottom knee, keeping it clear, and then once he settles in, then he goes, all right, you can have your leg back. I got what I want. Meanwhile, Jason doing a good job, or was doing a good job pinning Caleb here for a while. Caleb trying his damnedest to come back up. Jason doesn't want that. God, so everybody's so close together. What happened there? Caleb countered something. Okay, so Caleb gets to a leg off of this half guard. So Caleb's working the lockdown position.
He is, yeah.
Elevates him and then switches. Nice, gets a good knee bar. So this is cool. So this isn't any fancy like 10th planet lockdown kind of stuff. He's using that. He pulls Jason up to get a little bit of space. Jason doesn't stay super tight to him, so that allows Caleb to get his frames in. You know, just prior to that, Jason has a lot of the inside position here, and he's about to win more if he can pry Caleb's left arm out. So Caleb pulls him up to create some space, get him off balance, and then uses that cross shoulder post right here to get him off balance to the side, cut his angle, and take full advantage of the leg that is suddenly very light because Jason's weight is on his right side. So he goes for the left leg, throws up a nice knee bar to get the finish. That was solid, man.
That was really good.
Also, props to Brandon. He's been defending an onslaught of many things from Andrew here. Just doing some good.
He's really stepped it up lately. He really has. His
defense has gotten much, much better, which, you know, at white belt, of course, that's what we want to see. It was okay. I mean, as far as knee bars go, it was all right. Super tight triangle from Gavin here. Let's see how he got
These
there.
triangles are no joke.
Yeah, and he really enjoys setting them up for mount now. He starts punching me in the face there, just to add insult to injury.
What's up, Pip Jitsu?
Pib, what's going on? And then yeah, from there, that's where he gets. We talked about this with him a few weeks ago. You can either finish it from mount. There's no reason why you can't, especially given my arm position. You could see my left arm is, my elbow's probably in his stomach. So if you like cut his angle a bit, he may be able to finish it mounted. Actually, no, he doesn't have this leg in the right place yet. So as he falls over, he throws the leg up to a better spot. So he wasn't in, I guess he wasn't in a perfect mounted triangle position before, but he uses the roll, or he either initiated it or I did, but he used it to get to the angle he wanted. And it was super tight. I just didn't want to give it to him. So tried to fight this one off as best I could. Do my twerking escape. I'm out. Works like a charm most of the time. Get to a little dogfight position. He takes the top. Trying to throw up more resistance on him and his brother doing the anaconda by getting my hand on the leg, making it more difficult for them to secure my arm into the position they want. Because again, they've got the finishing mechanics down. Now they're not getting it for free anymore. Just want to look at Caleb and Jason here so Jason sits back, trying to set up, I assume, the straight ankle. And it looked like Caleb almost tried to get like a counter. Oh, okay. So he was looking for like a counter straight ankle with like the figure 4 grip, or like the rear naked choke grip rather.
Okay.
But I think he lost his balance and settled for top half. And then Brandon staying super composed here with Andrew trying to rip his leg off. Brandon
So Andrew's on his back. You know, like I feel like Brandon knows that if he keeps Andrew on his back, that Andrew doesn't really have a whole. I mean, well, number one, Andrew's left leg is actually draped across Brandon's hips here, so there's really no risk of any further extension of the leg. Furthermore, if he's on his back, he has no way of extending his body away from his back, you know, away from the leg to cause any more tension either. So he's really no wedge. So I think that was really good from Brandon to kind of recognizing that there was no imminent danger here. I'd like to see him trying to get up and get out for sure. Yeah. That would be the next step, but you know, we got to start somewhere.
This makes me think of like what it probably looks like when you or I try to straight ankle Luke.
Yeah.
Even under like good dangerous conditions, and Luke's just like, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, I think the only reason Brandon couldn't get up here easily was because of the leg position, right? Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's an interesting trade-off. Andrew gives up braking mechanics here, but is able to loosely use the word pin Brandon in place. But that's, you know, I think we've talked about this a few times recently. The hip position on the straight ankle is not the same as the hip position on the heel hook. Your hips need to be further away from your opponent for the straight ankle, and they need to be near your opponent's hips for the heel hook. So this is kind of a melding of those things in the wrong direction. We got really close hip position, but a straight ankle grip. That's where we want to see, you know, the feet not draped over our opponent, but stepping on the hip, stepping on the inner thigh, and pushing your hips down towards the ankle. That's what's really going to make people move, you know, for the fear of a break. Brandon may have been a little awkwardly pinned there, but I think with another minute probably would have shifted the legs over, sat up, and been pretty safe to pass. Josh and I just getting these like protracted battles. Who's gonna sit first, or who's gonna manage to get a takedown? And then who's Chris? We got Chris and Jordan. There we go. Jordan must have been hiding. I didn't see him any of the earlier matches.
I think he was training up in the top right.
Okay.
You just couldn't see a lot of them.
Josh has some quads. All right, well, we found Josh's fake Twitch account. No, he does, and they suck because it makes it that much harder to take him down. What happened here? So he goes, oh, he tried to get us to snatch a single up, and I just counter shot.
Yep.
But he was good. Got the sprawl. And then one thing Josh has been really good at lately is immediate strangles from the back. What are you wowing at?
Just how he slipped into mount. I was actually not expecting him to be able to do that.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's kind of to my point. Like he when he's gotten me to turtle up, he's very quick on the go behind, spinning around to the back. The one thing, Josh, that I want you to tighten up with that is the hand block or whatever block, so that I don't reach up and catch your hips, which I've done a few times. But you're getting better at that. The problem here is as soon as he spins around, he is very good at sinking in a strangle arm. And if it isn't under my chin, it's across my face and it gets my head turning. And that breaks me down from turtle. And then it's a nasty mandible strangle, like immediately. So I'm getting used to that more and more. So immediately you could see I kind of heist my hips up, trying to hide my back, turning towards him. And now it's like, go ahead and take mount. I can handle a mount escape from you. I don't feel like fighting out of your arm, your forearm pummeling over my face repeatedly from the back. Yeah. So it was a conscious decision on my part to fight from this position versus what some of the quick taps he's gotten on me lately. And then we got that new flavor, Josh, that coming up for the mounted triangle that we saw that debuted last stream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pat and Ryan joining the fray. Just a sample. Just checking. It looks like Pat and Ryan start from side control. Okay, cool. I like to see that Ryan's working the stuff we're going over in class. We could all take a page out of his book and do some positional sparring once in a while.
Yep.
I think a couple weeks ago I said I was going to start doing it a lot more, and I still have yet to do it a lot more. It's basically just when bigger guys want to roll, it's like, all right, we're gonna start from half guard or whatever.
Yep.
God,
Nice.
Josh sucks, dude. Look at that. That was fun. Kind of breaking. Well, no, I'm not gonna say I'm breaking my rule here. I've given you guys a rash of shit for not getting frames in and instead reaching up over the head and back and stuff from like side control positions, stuff like that. This, I had like a 5-finger guillotine, so not quite the same. I am trying to hit a strangle from here. Josh gets a little too forward, and I just take him up and over. And now I keep the guillotine. I'm looking for a better grip, and I managed to get it. Interesting decision. Everybody's been flexing on everybody else lately, so had to throw one up. Look at that distortion. It's the gravitational pull of my biceps messing up the image. Flex? Where'd you flex? Let's see your flex. Oh. There you go. Flexing them abs. Weak snap.
How you try to snap him down and then he snaps, and then he winds up snapping you down. Like, I mean, I'm in general, not just you.
Yeah.
That's just me with Josh. I'll try and snap him down, and I wind up in a front headlock somehow. I'm like, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah, and this was an attempt, not a traditional snap. I don't have a collar tie or anything. I was more or less working from like a shoulder snap position, which works sometimes on some people. Didn't work right now, and I just lowered my level, and he took a front headlock. Tried to go around a little too fast, and I just didn't want to go down. but I do. Caleb's trying to break some kids' legs right now. Brandon. +2? Yeah. Yeah, you still didn't sub me, which I had one on you already, so. You know, whatever. I'll probably sweep you here in a second anyway. Get 2 for that. Then we'll be even. You'll get penalized for all the face pushing you do. Like that.
Huge honor for me.
Thanks, James. Thanks for the resub. 15 months, man. Can you believe it? Huge honor for me. So Josh with the dummy sweep. And like, didn't even have time to pinch the legs. So I entered the legs once he stood up, but beat me to the jump.
Really covering up the hips.
See what Braden's doing? I think it's Braden.
I think he's watched me too many times on the stream.
Love this. Caleb's hiding. Enjoying the lower back massage.
Yeah.
He's getting a wrist lock.
He's getting a wrist lock. He deserves it.
What did I get on Josh here? So off balancing Josh, going to an Remy and do a reap to get the heel exposure. Pretty much on an inside Ashigarami from here to get the outside heel hook. That's a tough spot to get out of too. And he said tap, but he didn't say it loud enough, so I just kept cranking. Braden trying to wrap his arms around. Oh, just about gets it. Right at the bell. So how about that +2, Josh? Did it matter? Did it matter in the end? In the advanced division now, dog. Now we get to watch a brand new guy thrash me around for a little bit. And then Jason and Andrew. Andrew, just be careful with this Muay Thai clinch, like the double collar tie. That's what's gonna happen. We've seen the walkers doing that. I've been hitting it on people. You just kind of give up a base. Here you had a chance, like your right arm is free. Jason's moving you enough to it probably didn't matter at that point, but you're very vulnerable to that exact same takedown when you're in the double collar tie position. Caleb, nice. So here, Ryan should be learning a lesson in the utility of the underhook. So he has it, and he gives it up. So let's look at this again. So he's got Caleb flattened out here. We're looking at these two. He's got him flattened out. He's pulling the arm up. We went over this at class yesterday. I kind of taught this position to the to the dorsal Kimura. Posting on the hand, pulling up. But then right there, he takes the arm out, and Caleb says, thank you very much. And it's the beginning of the end for the sweep. So Ryan, do what you can to maintain that underhook until you can advance your position. Typically, advancing your position looks like coming up and around. We're going to scoot back a few frames. It would be bringing your hips over around to where your knees are pinching over his head, and you're in a quasi north-south position that we call the dorsal Kimura position, where you can attack Caleb's top arm, his left arm here. Instead, once you give him that underhook, he's got a good number of techniques that he could throw up to get you off balance.
Jason's working the body lock against Andrew. He does not have a full body lock. He's just using a tight waist. And it's going to be harder to pull that off with tight hips, right? Like when you have a when you have a tight waist on somebody like what this what Jason has here, I normally like to see a little bit looser hip movement. Trying to really use the elbows to pin the hips down, and then use your hips to be, further away, starting to walk around the legs a little bit more. The body lock pass, when you have fully locked hands behind your opponent's back, that's when you can really play nice and tight, knee position, hip position, and start like stepping over the knees and stepping over the legs.
Yeah.
But here you just don't have a tight enough connection with this tight waist grip, or with this hip hug, I don't know what you want to call that, to really play into a tight hip position anyway.
Yeah, and I think he can use that, like he can stay in that position to work to a good closed grip, tight waist, like true tight waist position with his hands
Agreed.
behind the back. Like if you can kind of like rock Andrew up to one side, sneak your hand in a little deeper, rock to the other side, sneak your hand in. Or even, I think like you were saying, if the hips are away and he can kind of sit up to you a bit, but you still have good head position, you can kind of use that sit up response to sneak your hands in behind the back and then put him back down.
Right.
Pull your hips into his legs and pin his legs to his butt. And then get to work if you want to do the body lock.
Yeah, often like I'll normally switch to the tight waist grip when I have shelved the leg on the body lock. That's the only time, and the reason I like to do that is because sometimes, depending on the size of my partner, like I may not be able to pin their hamstring down with my elbow, right, or something like that. So I'll have to unlock my hands in order to pin with my elbow, and then start walking around the body that way, nice and tight. But then immediately, as soon as I get the chance, I lock my hands back up and finish the pass.
Yeah. Andrew, I want you to think about what you have here guard wise and where you end up, because I think this is, I don't know, this could have gone one of two ways. Like you could have remained in open guard, but you went to a half guard from here. And although a lot of people use half guard to great effect from the bottom, it's still a positional advancement for your opponent to go from open guard to half guard, right? Remember, half guard's a great passing position for the guy playing top half guard. So it's not something that I don't want to tell you to never go to bottom half guard, because everybody has their game. But you have butterfly, like a butterfly guard right now, and you could use that to push Jason away or push yourself away from Jason. But notice as the space starts to give, you opt to go to half guard, and now Jason just about has your bottom knee swallowed up, right? It's not completely out. Now it's totally gone, right? So he's advancing his position here. Still, you're using your knee shield. That's all well and good, but just remember that like open guard to half guard is a positional advancement for your opponent, not for you. So tactically, just keep that in mind next time you find yourself there.
Jason got tired of trying to pass guard.
Yeah.
Going in on a leg.
We got to show Jason the
into the knee.
With a toe hold. A little toe hold threat too.
Yeah.
Jason, I would focus on the knee bar here more than the toe hold. Just I don't want you to like waste time on trying to do both when you could just do one really well. Oh man, what's Andrew gonna do?
At the edge of my seat. I don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't do my homework. I didn't watch it before. Oh, into the heel hook. And
that gets it.
Tap. Nice.
Half guard. Oh, we found Luke's fake Twitch account too. This whole time,
and
James.
Tom.
yeah. So, yeah, Jason, I would just for this one, I would say stick with the knee bar rather than the toe hold. You can do a lot right here. Like you have the leg right where you want it. You just got to dig your heels back, throw your hips in. You should be fine. We got to show Jason the like that Gordon Ryan the hand, what does he call it, the drill to like get the heel.
Oh yeah,
like the quick
like
draw kind of thing. Yeah,
whatever. Quick draw,
whatever it's called.
Yep.
Because right here I feel like Jason could have gotten heel exposure on that.
Oh totally.
Anyway, moving forward. Chris, meanwhile, on Brandon's back, giving him some trouble. So, there it is. Okay. Good, slow, steady pressure from Chris. Looks like it beat Brandon's hand fight.
That's right. I trained with Brandon that night.
He's such a fun role.
He really is. I tried to take him down with this anaconda, and he would not go under.
Really?
Like he would not roll. Yeah. Like, okay, that's how it's gonna be. So I think I opted to go for a back take. I think Caleb was talking mad crap. He's like, he likes to pretend like he's not even there so that you just turn over and then he pins you. Like, shut up, Caleb.
So a few good instincts from Ethan, or at least one, I would say. I think he really understands the necessity of legs in regarding, and I'm saying this kid has taken, this may have been his third class with us, so you know, I don't think he'd ever done jiu-jitsu before this, so you can see he was fighting very, very hard to keep his legs in, which most people rely heavily on their arms when they first start. But he seems to be understanding right off the bat that the legs, being the stronger of the limbs, are probably more important to have in between you and your opponent.
I'm glad you're utilizing the sit-outs.
Hit it mid-sentence.
Well.
As soon as Danny said, so I was, and then Caleb just hits it. Chris and I had a great roll here too, and Andrew and Brooke. Is that you and Josh?
Me and Josh, yeah. He hit me with a nice body lock pass. He went to go step over into a mount from side control, and I caught the trailing leg. So he extends his body away, makes room for him to step that knee or his right knee over my left knee,
Yep.
and comes around for the pass.
Passed it off really easily.
Yep. And then he tries to step over, and then I catch the trailing leg, and I score the underhook on that side.
What did Brooke do here? So Andrew lowers his level, tries to get almost to a knee pick. Brooke gets to close guard. So I had to fight really hard to get to get a secure back position on Chris here. I even go as far as to get a good leg trap. I was very happy about all this. I felt very confident I was going to get this. He starts to blade his hips out. I make some adjustments, and I even get under the chin. Not only that, I even get to my finishing position, right, with my rear naked strangle grip totally set up. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. Your hips, they could go out. I've got this strangle set in. And he keeps fighting. He keeps fighting. He manages to free his arm there. And I go, you know what? I'm already under the chin. I've got my grip. I don't care. And he totally burned me out and completely defended probably the deepest rear naked strangle I've ever had on him that I didn't finish.
Yeah, it's infuriating dealing with him. Like, I remember, I think it was last Saturday, or like when we went over it on Sunday or whatever, when I had that, I think I finished a rear naked on him, and it was tiring.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I had him dead to rights 20 seconds before he tapped. And, you know, I'm sitting here cranking on it as, like, hard as I can.
Yeah.
Infuriating. Yeah.
So Brooke hits Andrew with the double ankle, and Andrew responds well, pinches the knees. So,
super well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to see beyond this is control of the ankles. Remember, you pinch the knees right from here, lay flat to your back, pop your hips up, and get those double V grips right underneath the ankles and extend them away. That's going to immobilize your opponent much more. Brooke wouldn't be able to roll in that case. Now she rolls out and comes up to a top position. You did everything right before that. You just got to get that last little finish down. It doesn't need to be a frantic thing when you hit the double ankle sweep, or when you get double ankle swept. Take your time, pinch the knees, and elevate the legs. And now you're in some trouble because Brooke is a monster from mount. So it's gonna be a long 2 minutes and 50 seconds, I assume.
Yeah.
Then again, Andrew like bucks me off of mount all the time, so maybe Brooke will get the same treatment. I'm fighting very hard to prevent Chris from getting an inside elbow position on my knees, and start working on his elbow escape. Josh working the body lock, passing again on you, this time to the other side.
Yeah.
Chris's neck is so bendy. To the earlier point, Josh, about leg position on arm bars, look at what my cross-facing leg is doing. Like, my heel is straight back. I'm not straightening my legs, and look how much I'm taking Chris's head offline just to get him broken back down. He snuck his leg in there though and disrupted my grip. I was kind of pissed about that. I'm like, whatever. You don't like that, Josh? Get a good bendy neck freeze frame here.
Nice.
I look like I'm kicking his head like off of his body. Oh my god. Just in case. Just in case this is the best freeze frame of the night. Let's get a good.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Stretch Armstrong. I mean,
Man, it's amazing. Bendy, man. Gumby Chris. So switching from the armbar into a triangle threat. I don't remember if I got this or not. I don't think I did. He's got a couple extra vertebrae up by his head.
no kidding.
All right, so Andrew managed to turn them over, but he's still stuck in close guard, so he didn't get to break the guard open yet. Oh, that's right. I end up in a kind of like a not quite a triangle, but more that like side.
Oh yeah.
Side
Like
on.
shoulder.
Yeah, like the shoulder. I don't know. I don't think they call it like shoulder senkaku or anything like that, but it's like the triangle Americana finish,
Yeah.
where I've got a bend in Chris's arm like an Americana, and throwing my hips into the back of his shoulder. Brooke with the sweeping with the quickness.
Vicious.
And this is just redirecting Andrew's energy here, right? He's really heavy forward. Brooke does a great job, just 2-on-1 grip, gets the arm across, up over the neck on this one, and Andrew hides his back there.
Yeah.
But she takes him out. Nice Kimura trap on Josh there.
I didn't have it fully locked up.
Yeah, looks like elbow slips.
Yeah, he slipped the elbow, but even when you lose it, if you can keep the hand into the hips, you can still pull off the Kimura trap just without the threat of a back take, right? So you can just advance your position and get a sweep out of it.
Yeah. Brooke and I have a barn burner of a match here. That was a fun one. Chris and Ryan practicing. Foot sweep to get Brooke down against the wall. A couple knees to the face. And Jordan and Brandon on the other side of the mat. There are two people that come to mind that I take, or I will take when it happens, a lot of pride in hitting a good single or double on, and it's Brooke and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke has extremely fast sprawl reflexes. Josh has fast reflexes, but if you do get a leg, he has a very continuously strong sprawl that he'll just like break. Even if you make a grip, he somehow manages to break it. So if I get singles or doubles on them, I'm pretty stoked about it. Otherwise, I just stick to my normal BS. Like I have a Russian tie here on Brooke, and I use it for a trip. So really, really holding her arm. She's got the better head position on me. But what I do here to combat that is I keep her elbow fully pinned into my chest. I'm not letting her get any sort of pull out of it to create space. And I cut my angle. You can see kind of like almost like a Sasai Surikomiyashi kind of move where I'm moving across the body to put a little torque on the shoulders, and I'm blocking her knee with my foot to get her to go down. And taking the time, setting up the body triangle. And strangling her. Meanwhile, Jordan almost in the same position, working the high ball ride from the back.
Yeah, I was watching him and Brandon train. That was a good match.
Brandon slipping it,
Brandon
man.
again. Yeah, doing really good defensively.
Oh, I stopped and said to Brooke, "This is my impression of you," and I just start walking backwards because she was walking away from me the entire time. A lot of backwards movement, so I had to give her some shit about it. And also, I know that she'll just be meaner to me when I do that. Jordan coming up almost to mount. Brandon gets the knee in.
Yeah, she's a very defensive wrestler.
Nah, there she wasn't.
Nice.
Loser. What happened here? So, set it up with a snap. As she goes up, I take my shot. I start chasing the leg, and she jumps here. I mean, this isn't me just like lifting her off the ground, but she jumps. I catch the knee, and I super gently put her down. Look at it in 1 1/4 speed again. And then right there, it looks probably cooler in slow-mo, so we're gonna look at it in slow-mo. She tries to reverse me here, and I just hit a quick, basically a backstep.
Backstep, yeah.
To get myself from keep myself from being put on my back, because the last thing I wanted was for her to, again, I've said it before, she has the worst top position, and by worst I mean best. It's the worst to deal with, so really didn't want to get re-rolled and then pinned for the remainder of this round. Jordan, let's see, gets himself into an arm triangle here after a sweep. Little shoulder push. Brandon didn't really have much of a base there. Zoom in a little bit. So Jordan, you're staying in mounts. I'm gonna assume you're working to get to maybe like a position where you feel like you've got everything lined up good. Brandon's holding onto your leg.
Like how wide your elbow is on the left side. Oh, Brandon has his leg trapped.
Yeah,
So
the
he
right
can't
leg's trapped.
advance. Got it. Okay.
I would like to see you keep working with the underhook though.
Me too. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like right here, I don't want you reaching down. He had the lockdown and I panicked, couldn't figure out a way to dismount.
With that wide of a top, like with your elbows and shoulders, you can hip heist out of this, right, and get your hips up nice and high, and start to negate the lockdown. So we can go over that in class a little bit more. You were in a really good, strong passing position, even for the lockdown.
So I'm also working an arm triangle right now. Brooke trying very hard to turn out of it. Again, almost in a weird contortionist sort of way. But figured why not try it. Again, these are like one of my worst subs. I think you guys know that by now. But figure may as well try. She starts turning up to me, which is probably taking a lot of the pressure off. So I just settled in for going back to mount position, try to hit a smother. But I saw the time, I knew we didn't have much time left, so I didn't want to make it too mean. But yeah, great round.
Good stuff.
Cool. Thanks a lot, everybody. Glad to have a few new faces in the chat. Gab Toski, thanks for sticking around, chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, cool. And thank you again, James, for the resub and for new subscribers. Really appreciate the support.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Caleb. Take it easy, brother. Let's see. This weekend, if you guys want to go out and support, Kurt's boys will be doing their super fights. So talk to him if you want to go check it out. I don't remember the exact place. I think it's down in like Indian Falls. Indian Trail. Yeah, down in South Carolina. So am I going to make an appearance tomorrow? No. Why? Why do you want to know that? Probably not. Let's see, July 29th, just about a month away from the next competition. So I hope you guys are getting ready if you plan on competing. What else? What else? Anything new? Might get you in a headlock.
I don't think so.
Oh man, you've been lurking in the chat, and this is your first time right as we're signing off.
Well, thanks for joining.
Thanks for chiming in. Might get you in a headlock. Love your name. Take it easy, guys. Yeah, cool. All right, so you guys get back to class tomorrow, and keep practicing your side control. In the meantime, let's see, follow us here, subscribe here if you can, subscribe over at YouTube, all that stuff. You guys know the spiel. So I think we'll just leave it at that for the night. Go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. Take it easy, Pib. We'll see you guys later.
Later.